Preston McCall here. More about how you want to become a painter. I left off in the last video, number 124, where I was running the gallery in downtown Santa Fe and commuting back and forth to Kansas City every month to paint showroom windows and windshields. It was very hard on me, although the long 700-mile drive was not that bad. I had good self-service most of the way, so my truck was really quite a good office where I could contact many of my customers and generate new window painting business. The great part of those drives was seeing the countrysides, and especially the incredible weather forming over the western plains. I would watch these giant thunderstorms form and rarely could not drive around them. Sometimes I'd have to drive through them, and the heavy rain and hail were nature's great wonder, including the brilliant lightning flashes all around. Rarely did I ever face the fury of snow, as I would delay the drive a day or so when the roads were cleared up. After 2.5 years, the people whom I leased the gallery space from decided to make some changes to their plans in not building the new hotel right next to our gallery. That was primarily the reason I leased the spot, to be right at the new hot spot. I was a couple blocks west of the main plaza, and the traffic was just not as strong there as closer to the main center. They offered to lower the rent a very minor amount, but this was way overpriced for the traffic count. My business back in Kansas City was doing well. I had more and more business, and the problems of the lease in Santa Fe made me think we should escape for a while. I had sold a significant number of my paintings and felt the grind was just too much for the returns. I sold off the assets and moved back to Kansas City in early 2004. The biggest issue was my marriage had suffered somewhat, with my being gone so much. Despite my fidelity and commitment to maintaining a healthy bond, I came home to our wonderful home and began again full-time painting windows and fine art paintings in my studio. After a couple years back in KC, we went to Europe on an extended trip to see all the museums I ever wanted to visit. Italy, France, and England were the main areas I wanted to see. My wife had carefully planned great excursions to see everything we wanted, and her organizing the venture was a real gift. I was able to see my head full of the great art I always wanted to see. We'd been married 15 years at this point. Her son from a previous marriage was finally out of college and out on his own, living nearby. My wife and I talked about the change of being empty nesters and decided we should separate. We were so different in so many ways. She had not participated in the gallery like we had originally planned and had a good position working as a marketing director at a large law firm. I was a painter who also painted windows and knew a lot about car dealers. We amicably divorced, and I kept the cool mid-century modern home, a huge project to keep maintained and manicured on my own. For the next couple of years, I lived alone. I had plenty of window painting work and continued to paint in my beautiful studio. I went through a phase where I produced a series of oil pastel landscapes on paper, maybe 12 of them. I made frames for them and was pleased with the effort. Then one night I broke out the oil paints and began painting again. Wow! I'd forgotten how powerfully brilliant oil colors were and fell immediately back under the spell of oil paint color. I was single. I tried online dating and discovered I could really seek out the type of lady partner I wanted to find. I worked hard at the effort and spent many evenings looking at profiles, writing emails to contact them. Over the next couple of years, I met some 1,500 women. Yes, 1,500. Emails, meetings for coffee, dinner dates, then actual dating. I began to finally isolate what it was I was really looking for. As before, I never really knew. Online dating proved to me that I could possibly find someone I would really enjoy being with and find at last a truly meaningful relationship. I also found being an artist was kind of a handicap, as most women were looking for Mr. Kansas City Goodbar, and an artist did not fit her profile. Slowly, I figured out what I was looking for and what I was not looking for. She had to understand art somewhat. She had to have her life together. No kids in prison, no big herd of cats, no basement full of Victorian furniture moldy and needing to be rebuilt. All four fenders of her car had to match. But honesty and integrity were clearly the most important assets. After 2+ years, I met Susie, an artist, and recently moved back from California to Kansas City. I really did not intend to date her as such, but just wanted someone with whom to attend a few gallery openings. We finally met and fell in love at first sight. Well, long talks by the fireplace about art and artists. Long discussions about our paintings and how we had experimented with various mediums. Art history, other artists we knew. She became my constant companion, and still today, after 14 years, it is just as enchanting as ever. In 2014, we sold out. Sold our homes and a lot of our possessions. We packed up and completely moved back to Santa Fe, or Fantasy, as we called it. I had found a nice gallery for lease up on Canyon Road and leased it. We also found an incredible house for lease up in the mountains, owned by a couple of guys from New York who were fabulous, and we all became good friends. In July of 2014, we opened McCall Fine Art, and we're back in the gallery business, back to working 7 days a week from 9 till dark. But it had a beautiful outside courtyard studio. It really did not feel like much work to me. Well, that brings us up to the second gallery in Santa Fe. The next Naked Artist Exposure video, number 126, we'll discuss the next 6 years in Santa Fe. Perhaps the most interesting artist experience so far in my life. Thanks for watching these Naked Artist Exposure videos. I appreciate your comments, and should you have any questions, I'll do my best to respond. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons below, as your following these is helping me do more of these. About being a painter is really a unique pursuit today. Once again, I am Preston McCall, and keep painting.